Gardens are funny. You think you know what you planted, you did all this planning and things, and they just do what they want sometimes. They just pop out plants you don't even know are coming and surprise you, and you're just kind of stuck in a position of going, what the heck is this? And that's where I've been the last few days. I keep finding things that either I forgot I planted or I didn't plant them, and yet there they are. Let me tell you about some of the things I've found in my garden, and then there's one little thing I found out it's not so good. But these are the things that have kind of come upon me this year in this 2022 spring garden, and I just thought I'd share them with you. I came out here to pick today and was just poking around, saw these cucumber plants. I went to pick it and I said, what the heck is that? And then I remembered I had planted some Armenian long cucumbers, and I really didn't think any of the plants had made it. I thought these were all Ashley cucumbers over here, but I was wrong. Not only do I have that one, I guess that's what it looks like when you pick it. I've never grown them before. But also got another one coming there, and I see some little ones that are making, so it survived. I had no idea it made it. Oh goodness, I see another one, another little one way down there, tucked in, ready to come. Okay, so I guess I'm officially growing Armenian long cucumbers. So exciting, I swear. You just don't know what gardens are gonna do. This is so funny. I have this vine that's growing in Richard's garden. It's growing over here where I'm growing the cantaloupes. It's a watermelon vine though, and I just assumed that it was a Wilson Sweet watermelon because I had planted those on the other side of the garden last year, but I did a lot of disking and things like that, so no big deal if the seeds showed up over here. But I had completely forgotten until I just walked over here and found the hidden melon. I had completely forgotten that I had sown some Desert King watermelons last year. They never really came up well, and this year, all of a sudden, a volunteer decides to come up. And look at that. And they're hiding in my beans that I had decided to leave here and let dry up to save seeds. This watermelon vined out, crawled up in the beans, and is growing. Look at there. So I'm gonna have a Desert King watermelon. Hopefully there may be another one on this vine somewhere that'll pop up too. That'll be great. I love finding volunteer plants, and I love knowing that this melon survived and came back this year for me. That is so cool. And I've got this big old plant that popped up in the middle of my row. I just let it go because I thought it was just a regular crookneck squash that had somehow got over there. But it finally revealed itself. And I think, I've never technically grown these before, but I did plant them last year. I think it's a Jester delicata squash. I planted these kind of over there, but I do a lot of disking and stuff with my tractor, so I guess it decided to come up over here. But look at it. I don't know if it puts off lots of other ones. Well, there's more blooms, so I guess it might. Surprise, surprise. I guess I'm growing Jester delicata winter squash. I had no idea I was going to do that this year. Here's another little surprise for me in my garden. More of a surprise of finding out something is not going to make it, but I feel bad because I didn't understand why it wasn't going to make it until now. I just didn't pay it enough attention. I didn't get on it. I didn't research. I just sat around and waited for it to do better because it looks so good, but it's not going to happen. And let me tell you why. Okay, this is my beautiful tomatillo plant. I actually planted 3. I had one on either side of this. I ended up planting all this stuff because the very first tomatillo plant that I planted there died. I had this one planted, and then I had another one planted here, and I never replaced that with anything. Well, this one looked beautiful and just has blooms all over it. Just blooms everywhere, and it's looked like this for months now, and absolutely nothing has happened. And I said in my last tour video that I just really didn't know why, because it was time for something to happen. Well, I was watching a video the other day, I think it's Off Grid with Doug and Stacy, and Stacy mentioned that you have to have 2 tomatillo plants to have them set fruit. They wouldn't do it with just one plant. And my ears stood up and I was like, what? And that's exactly right. That's exactly right. It was a hard lesson to learn. I'm not going to get any tomatillos off of this plant. There are little bitty buds here, there, and yonder, but they are doing absolutely nothing, and they've been doing absolutely nothing for a long time. So I thought, let me check out what she said just to make sure, and this is what I found out. I had a thought, and I came in here and I got my Johnny's Seed catalog out of my little basket. I was storing all my catalogs in that basket above the freezer in my little Camp Joy Farm store. And sure enough, it says in here, at least 2 tomatillo plants required for successful pollination and fruit set. I should have looked at that a while back. I had 3 plants planted, but 2 died, and when that last one was left there, I was just so glad it was thriving and it was doing good and it had so many blooms on it, and it just didn't occur to me that it needed a partner. So that's my fault. Should have checked that sooner. Well, that's a few of the surprises that I've had in my garden this year. Some good ones, the watermelons, the Jester Delicata squash, which I have no idea what I'm going to do with, but apparently last year I thought I needed them. This year I just have to figure out how to cook it and what to do with it. Hopefully it'll make it all the way. And the Armenian cucumbers. They look delicious. I'm going to try it and see what that's like. Never had one of those before. But also kind of finding out the tomatillos may not make it and that it was my fault. But that's the way it goes. Please let me know kind of if you've had some volunteers come up, maybe from last year that you didn't even think about. That's the thing with the Desert King watermelon and the Jester Delicata squash, is they did not come up last year. This isn't like some of my cowpeas that just kind of reseed and come up. These were items that didn't make it last year. Never had one. Never grew to maturity. A lot of the plants didn't make it. And then boom, all of a sudden this year, they pop up and spring forth eternal, and they're huge and just looking fantastic. So that's what surprises me. Let me know if something's popped up in your garden like that. Let me know if something has just caught you off guard, something you weren't even thinking about. Maybe even it's a flower that hadn't grown in a few years, and all of a sudden here it is again. Things like that can just be so amazing. Seeds can be so amazing. And we're just kind of just there. You know, they have the life of their own, and sometimes when we get out of the way, that's when they're really the most happy. So that's my opinion on it. That's my little surprises from my garden. I'd love to hear about yours. This is Lainey from Camp Joy Farms. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much, and y'all have a great day. Bye-bye.